Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining on our Facebook and Instagram Live. I'm Christine Daal from Fashion Ninja Warrior. We do these Facebook and Instagram Lives every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm super excited because tonight we are going to talk about creativity versus saleability and which one is actually better for your fashion business. So thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video. We want this to get out to as many fashionpreneurs as possible. So if you have friends, family, coworkers, definitely share these videos, let them know, share it in their DMs. Hi guys, how are you? Nice to see so many of you on. Hi Simone, nice to see you. Don't forget to give me your hearts, give me your thumbs up, give me your comments. I want these to be as interactive as possible. I need it. It's like oxygen to me, guys. I need it. I want to hear from you. I want this to be a two-way conversation. It's so much more fun that way. It is not fun just listening to myself talk all the time. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you. If you do have any questions as we go along, definitely type them in the comments. If my assistant Gina gets on tonight, she may or may not be able to get on, but she will also be answering your questions for me as well. Tough to type and talk at the same time. So we are going to talk about creativity versus saleability and which one is more important for your business. We're also going to talk about 2 reasons that people don't wear stuff on the runway. The top 3 items that all big fashion houses actually make their money on. We're going to talk about 7 brands that have made it big and why. We're also going to talk about why you want to be in Walmart, not Bergdorf's, and the 10 things that will make an item sell well, and so much more. Hi Inga, how are you? Thanks for joining. So I'm super excited. So this is a really tricky topic, because on one hand, you want your line to be very creative and new and different and fun and exciting. But on the other hand, you can't have it be so creative or so far out there that it's not going to sell and no one's ever going to buy it, right? At the end of the day, you need to be making money in order to stay in business. So which is more important, creativity or saleability? Is it better to be creative or is it better to just make something that's saleable? So I want to hear from you guys. I know a lot of you are just joining in. Hi, Charlene. I think I saw Andrea. Yari Anare. I think I'm saying your name correctly. Thanks for joining us. So let me know. Type in the comments, creativity or saleability. Which one do you think is more important? If you think creativity, type number 1, creativity, or number 2, saleability. I want to hear from you. What's more important? To be creative or sales? Runway versus reality, runway versus the real way. What's more important? Okay, Inga says both. Okay, she's taking the easy way out. Andrea, hey Andrea, how are you? Nice to see you on. I want to hear from you guys. I know some of you are on. Inga says balance of both. Yes, definitely. I know the comments are a little delayed on my end too, so I'll give you girls and guys a little bit of time here. Which one is more important? Is it better to be creative or is it better to make something that's saleable? Number 1, creative. Number 2, saleable. 2, but creativity is what I love. I know, I get it. I am a creative person too. You know, the thing about creative people is that we have to always do something creative. Like even if your job is not creative, you will find a way, whether it's at home, in your personal life, some kind of hobby that you have on the side, to somehow have a creative outlet, because if you're a creative person, you have to. It's like you will die if you don't have a creative outlet. Andrea says both, but leaning more towards saleability. Okay. Elizabeth says, I would say a balance of both. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Nice to see you on. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the creative side first. So I once remember one time someone asked me, hey, why is it that no one really wears any of the stuff that we see all over the runway? There's all this great stuff on the runway and nobody's wearing it. Why? Well, the reason is twofold. 1, it's not practical. And 2, half of that stuff, if not the majority of the stuff that you see walking down the runway, never actually gets sold in stores, okay? First of all, think about it. Let's talk about the practical side of it. What do you wear every single day? You're probably wearing stuff that's basic. Jeans, t-shirts, cardigans, button-downs, leggings, right? This is what we all live in. Why? Because it's comfy, It's cozy. It doesn't require a lot of upkeep. It's easy to clean. It's easy to move around in. All right, a velvet jacket with sequins and ostrich feathers and all these crazy things coming out of it. Not so easy to move around in, not so easy to clean, not so easy to wear, right? I'm even wearing a basic velvet jacket, and to be honest with you guys, this is not that comfortable. It's just not. I can't move as much. I can't stretch. It's annoying to put my jacket on because it catches on the velvet, right? Like, it's just not practical. If I could live in jeans and a t-shirt all the time, I would. And half the time, I honestly do, because I work from home and I have my own business, so I get to wear whatever I want. But honestly, it's not what we wear, right? I love evening gowns, but think about how many days out of the year that you probably wear an evening gown, right? Maybe once a year if you're lucky. And if that, it's usually not even a long gown. It's probably a cocktail dress or something of that sort, right? Plus, all of the stuff that you see on the runway, it's for show. Runway is a show at the end of the day. It's to get people excited. It's to get people hyped up and liking the line and posting on social media and all of that stuff, right? It's just a show. So it's not practical. And number two, a lot of those fashion houses don't end up cutting the majority of the stuff that walks down the runway. Why? Because the buyers are the ones that dictate what's get put in the store. And so if you're a fashion brand and you sell to other retailers like Saks and Bloomies and Macy's and all these large department stores, they're the ones that dictate what gets put in the store, not you. So you could create this beautiful thing, but if they don't pick it at the end of the day, you're probably not going to cut it and you're not going to sell it to them, right? Unless you have your own retail store. And even then, even with your own retail store, half the stuff you're probably not cutting because you know at the end of the day, it's not going to sell. Plus, don't forget all those big fashion houses, Chanel, Gucci, Dior, right? They all make money on three things: perfume, makeup, and handbags. They do not make their money on the clothes. The clothes are for fun. The clothes are for show. The clothes are just to create an event and excitement and all of that stuff. They all make their money on those three things. The markup on makeup and perfume alone is ridiculous, okay? And think about it. Everyone wants a Chanel handbag, not a Chanel jacket, right? Nobody goes out and says, I want a Chanel jacket. Everybody will save up their money to buy a Chanel handbag. And then on the flip side, think about what you can afford. You can probably afford a $30 Gucci lipstick, but you're probably not going to be able to afford a $3,000 gown from Gucci, right? So everyone can afford makeup, everyone can afford perfume, and everybody wants a designer handbag. So those are the three things that everyone makes money on. So you're not going to see a lot of the stuff on the runway in the stores because it's just not practical and it's just not saleable. We also just used to joke around in the industry all the time when I was a designer and say that ugly sells. And it's so true. I would spend all this time as a designer designing the most beautiful thing, the most creative thing, the most unique thing. And at the end of the day, those things nobody wanted. People wanted the same old crap, right? I said on the last Facebook Live, my boss used to say SOS, same old, you can fill in the blank, crap, right? That's what everyone wanted. The buyers wanted something they knew was going to sell. The consumer out there, they want something so basic and so easy and comfortable and easy to wear, right? So that's why it's really important. And so in my opinion, saleable is best, but you still need to add a little bit of creativity, because if it's just the boring same old stuff all the time, then what's going to make someone want to buy it, right? So, and I'll give you an example. Actually, I'll give you 7 brands that have made it really big and are doing this well, very, very well. So when I was VP of Design and Merchandising, I used to work for a company that produced various different lines for QVC. And so I managed all of the different brands, from hot celebrity line brands that QVC used to do, all the way to the Joan Rivers line, the Bob Mackie line. And then there was this other line called Quacker Factory. I'm sure none of you have heard of it. If anyone has heard of the Quacker Factory line on QVC, please tell me right now, because I would be shocked. But out of all of the lines that we did, out of all of the hot celebrity lines, out of all these lines, the one that was the most successful out of all of them on QVC was Quacker Factory. Do you want to know what they sold? They sold these things. We called them dream jeans. They were these cheesy, stretchy, pull-on jeggings, super cheesy, but the fabric was so yummy and it looked like denim, but it really wasn't denim. It was this stretchy, jegging material. And it had these crazy rhinestones on the pockets, and they sold like crazy. My boss made millions of dollars off of these crazy, cheesy dream jeans with Cracker Factory. Okay, you can look them up on QVC's website and you can see they've gotten rave reviews. They come back every season. We do them in different colors. We do them, Andrea's heard of Cracker Factory. I'm so shocked. We do them in different colors. We add different rhinestone stuff on them. And that's what made it new. The rhinestones on the pockets and all this kind of stuff is what really made it new and exciting, right? I'll give you another example. Has anyone ever heard of Grayson Lace? They were on Shark Tank. I'm a huge Shark Tank fan. I'm always watching all the Shark Tank videos. So Grayson Lace, I think they were on Shark Tank a few years back. They were selling socks, like longer socks, with this little like ruffle edge of like lace or something all around the edge of the sock, so that when you wore your boots, these socks would stick out. Hey, Perry, how are you? Nothing new, okay? They're not like reinventing the wheel, all right? The sock has already been out there forever. They're just taking something that's so basic, like a sock, and they're making it a little bit more creative and a little bit more girly by adding this little trim on the top edge, right? Hi, Latonia, how are you? And so that's all they were doing, right? And they sold those things like crazy, and they ended up getting a deal on Shark Tank, and now they're making millions, okay? I'll give you another example also from Shark Tank, Frill clothing. Has anyone heard of Frill? They are basically a line of dresses that is geared towards sorority girls. These dresses are not anything new. They're so basic. They're so cheesy. I honestly don't even like them. I don't think they're really made very well, to be honest with you, but that's my opinion. They're super cheesy. They're not anything new, but what's new about it, what's creative about it, is how they were able to market these. They marketed them specifically to sorority girls, and they were able to do it in a way because they knew that sorority girls had to buy all the same dress or had to buy all the same color, and they always have to wear all these things to go to all these functions. And so that's why it worked. That's what made it different and new and creative, right? Again, Juicy Couture velour tracksuits, right? Does everyone remember in the 90s, the velour tracksuits, right? They took something that was totally not even cool, right? Velour tracksuits were not cool, all right? But they made it cool, right? And plus, super comfortable to wear. You can now walk out of your house in basically pajamas, and it was totally fashionably acceptable, right? That's why it worked. Another example, Tory Burch ballet flats, okay? How many people hate wearing heels? I know I am. Honestly, I can't walk in 4-inch heels. It just does not work. I feel like I'm gonna fall over. I feel like I'm gonna stumble. I've got really long, skinny toes, and they just get crushed in those things. It just does not work for me. So I walk around a lot in flats. And so Tory Burch took the stupid ballet flat that had been around forever, put her crazy logo on it, and called it a day, right? Something so basic that everyone wants, everyone can wear, stuck her logo on it, and she made a killing, right? Hunter rain boots, right? Rain boots were not cool before Hunter came around. I'm sorry. Like, no one was wearing rain boots. I live in the New York City area. You need rain boots, okay? You're commuting. You're not driving a car. So rain boots are like essential. Yet nobody like wore these things before Hunter came around. Hunter came around and they somehow made rain boots cool. They made them in matte black instead of the typical shiny patent leather look. They also added like a wedge heel to make it even more like fashionable, right? So they were taking something that was so basic that everyone loved, that would be easy for everyone to wear. They priced it at a really good price. Everyone can afford something for $100, and they sold those things like crazy. Also, Tom shoes, right? Tom shoes, obviously they also have a giving aspect behind it, buy one, give one. But something so basic that has been around forever, and then they just added a good cause to it, right? So it's the idea that they're taking something that's saleable, something that has been done, that's been proven, that we all like to wear every single day, that everyone can afford, that everyone wants, and they added something creative, whether it was a creative market that they chose to pitch to their product, whether it was something creative about the product itself. They did something a little creative, but mostly the majority of it was just saleable. So all of these companies have been super successful, and it's been because they've been able to take something basic and make it cool or hip to wear in one way, shape, or another, right? So in my opinion, it's way better to have something that's saleable than something that's creative. But, and this is a big but, that doesn't mean it has to lack creativity, right? You can still infuse your creativity in things that are saleable. So I'll give you a great example. When I had my line, it was a very basic item, guys. It was one item that you could wear 20 different ways. What made it creative? The fact that you could wear it 20 different ways is pretty creative. Second, we did it in a ton of different prints. So the print itself, the fabric itself, is what made it creative and what allowed me to express my creativity, because I just kept cutting the same garment in all of these crazy prints. So my advice would be, if you want to find something that's going to be saleable, find something that people are already wearing a lot of and think of a new creative way to improve it and make it better and make it new. You know, when everyone started wearing leggings, when leggings were now quote unquote acceptable to wear around, like not for just the gym or not just to lounge around in, when everyone started wearing leggings, suddenly someone came up with the idea and said, hey, everyone's wearing leggings, let's throw a side pocket on the leggings so that everyone can carry their phone. And now everyone wants to go out and buy leggings with a side pocket, right? And then somebody said, hey, let's take the legging and add mesh inserts, since mesh is so popular right now and everyone's doing it, right? They just went and said, hey, let's take the legging, add some mesh inserts. Now everybody has to go out and buy new leggings, right? So think about the things that you wear every single day. Think about what people love to buy. Think about what you're already wearing, things like t-shirts, jeggings, jeans, right? Leather jacket, right? Like, what are you wearing? What do you live in every single day that you love to wear? And how can you make it new and exciting? If it's a t-shirt, maybe you're making a high-low hem, right? Maybe you're making a split hem. Maybe you're making the choker neckline on a t-shirt, right? People are doing these things. They're just taking something that's basic and updating it. And then people feel like they have to go out and buy it, right? And remember, the majority of the people in this country live in middle America. They don't live in the fashion cities like New York and LA, okay? So if you want to make the most amount of money, you should appeal to the masses. That means middle America people that don't have fancy stuff to go to. They probably sit at home on their couch all day long. And that's the type of people that you really want to go after if you really want to make the most amount of money. Hi, Cleo526 Studio. How are you? Hi, Prissy Puma Cat. Thanks for joining in. So it's kind of like, would you rather sell to Bergdorf's or would you rather sell to Walmart? I'm sure most of you would say you'd rather sell to Bergdorf's because that's the fancy place and that's the cool place, and you'll feel like you've made it if you've sold to Bergdorf's. But trust me, you don't want to sell to Bergdorf's. You would love to sell to Walmart because you're always going to make more money selling to mass market than you will selling high end, just alone based on the sheer volume that you would be doing. Think about it. If I sell 50,000 units and I make a profit of only $2 per unit on those 50,000 units, I just made $100,000. But if I sell only 1,000 units, much smaller units, I would have to make $100 profit per unit in order to make $100,000, which means, by the way, that item is most likely now going to sell for around at least $300 or more at retail. So I can sell something at Walmart for, let's say, $10 and make $100,000 by selling 50,000 units, or I can sell something at Bergdorf's for, well, not Bergdorf's in this case, let's say Macy's, for $300, but I would have to sell 1,000 units in order to do that. So do you guys see the difference? This is why all the big designers, they do all these collaborations, right? You see collaborations with H&M, you see collaborations with Target. Why are they doing these things? Because they know they're actually going to make more money doing it with Target and H&M than they actually probably would on their own namesake designer line, right? This is also the same reason that Christian Siriano, those of you who know Christian Siriano, he was on Project One Runway. I forget which season, but he was one of the winners. He has this huge deal with Payless shoes, right? Why? Why does he license his name to Payless shoes? Because he makes a killing doing it. He does not make any money on his high-end evening wear. All those red carpet things that you see on the red carpet, he would be out of business without his deal with Payless, okay? So it's better to design a line that sells rather than one that's too creative, in my opinion. But how can you do that? How can you design a line that sells? What really, at the end of the day, makes an item sell? So I want to hear from you guys. So this is the interactive part. There's a bunch of you on, so I want to hear from you. What makes a line sell? Tell me in the comments right now, what are your thoughts on this? What makes you buy something? When you go to the store, or when you're online shopping, or when you're browsing through your Instagram or your Facebook, what makes you click on something and buy it? Think about it. I want you guys to really think about this right now. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to comment because the comments are always delayed. I want to hear from you guys. What makes you buy something when you're in the store, when you're online shopping? What pushes you to buy it? What about these items makes you want to buy it? I know there's a bunch of you on, so come on, don't be shy. I want to hear from you. We're talking about the difference between creativity versus saleability and which one is better for your business. Okay, so Perryman says the way it looks and the price. Okay, so price is definitely very important, of course. Kristen says good fit and fabric quality. Love it. Inga says familiar with a novelty twist. Right, so that's exactly what we're talking about, right? It's familiar to you. Andrea says comfort and value. Okay, great. So some of you are giving some really good comments. Okay. And you're on the right track. So here are my top 10 things that will make an item sell well. Number 1, has to be innovative, but obviously not too far out there, right? So we talked about being creative, but not so creative that it's not gonna sell. Number 2, it has to be comfortable to wear. So someone else said comfort, right? That's in there. Number 3, has to be easy to care for or wash. So dry clean only, not the easiest thing to sell. But if it's machine washable, people will buy it. Number 4, it should appeal to the masses or a very specific niche market. So for instance, the frill clothing, we did the whole sorority market, right? That's what I'm talking about. So either really, really tight niche that's very, very specific and zero like laser focused, or you're appealing to the masses. You're appealing to that middle of America type girl. Okay, number 5, it's a classic or a staple item, right? With maybe a twist. It could be a trench coat, it could be a t-shirt, jeggings, right? Leggings, something that's a classic, but with a little bit of a twist. It's priced appropriately for that target audience. So a lot of you mentioned price, value, right? That's very important for you, right? Because you know what the cost should be. So you're definitely not gonna pay more for something if you know you can get it somewhere else cheaper, right? So that's going to make it sell. Number 6, it solves a problem or caters to a very specific need, right? So the whole idea with the yoga pants with the side pocket, everyone already loves yoga pants, and now everyone carries a phone, and we have nowhere to put our phone because our yoga pants don't have pockets. So obviously it makes sense. Let's throw a side pocket on the yoga pants, and now everyone can carry their phone, right? So it solves a problem. Number 7, there's a good cause behind the line. So a lot of people are thinking about sustainability, being eco-friendly, making sure that stuff is ethically made, that we're not damaging the environment, right? That we're giving back. So if there's some kind of good cause, this is what Tom's did. That's why they were very successful. That can definitely make a line sell. I think we're on number 9. It's on trend, but not super trendy. So anything that's super, super trendy, there's always going to be only a small portion of people that are going to want to buy it, because everyone else is going to think, oh my gosh, that's too trendy. I don't know if I can pull it off. I don't know if it's going to look good, right? All that sort of stuff. So you definitely want to be on trend, but I always say you don't want to be too trendy or be like chasing all the fads, right? Fads go away very, very quickly, 3 to 6 months. Trends can now obviously actually last a good year, possibly even 2 years. And that's a lot to do with the buyers and them being scared about trying new things. And so they just keep buying the same things over and over again. So you keep seeing the same things all over again in the stores. And then number 10, it's aesthetically pleasing, fits well, or figure flattering, which someone else mentioned, good fit. So fit is very important. That's why I always recommend you have a fit model, a professional fit model that knows how to fit and knows how things should be fitting. And then of course it comes down to design. Like, is your design aesthetically pleasing? Does it flatter a woman's body? You don't want some crazy like weird print with like 2 flowers right on the woman's boobs, right? Like that just doesn't look good or work, and it's going to draw attention to her boobs, right? So unless that's what you're going for, which I doubt that's what most of you are going for. So those are my top 10 tips for items that will sell well. So I hope you all enjoyed this live. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope it's got you thinking about how you can design things that are more saleable, but still infuse a little bit of creativity. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to give me your hearts, give me your thumbs up. I want to hear from you guys. A couple of announcements. We are doing our next New York City manufacturing tour. This is the last one until July, guys. We're only doing 2 New York City manufacturing tours this year in 2019. So if you want to take part, it's January 31st. There's only, I believe, 1 early bird ticket left. There won't be many tickets left. They always sell out, so you definitely want to take advantage. The website for that is fashiontour19.eventbrite.com. So it's fashiontour19.com. So definitely check that out. I put a link on Instagram, and there's a link on Facebook as well. We're also doing our free webinar. If you've missed it, if you haven't been able to watch it, our 9 crucial steps to launching a profitable fashion line, we are bringing it back. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. You can go to fashionninjawarrior.com/9, the number 9 steps webinar to sign up for that. There's a link for that as well. And then also, obviously, all the trade shows, the textile shows are this week, next week. We were at DG Expo today. We'll be there tomorrow in New York City. If you're in the New York City area, we're doing Tex World. Also, next week, we'll be doing a special Fabric Sourcing 101 event on Tuesday the 22nd from 5 to 6 p.m. So I definitely hope you all can make it. I'll also be hanging out with Fashion Mingle and talking all about sustainability. So if anyone's interested in sustainability, we've got a cool tip sheet for you on sustainability and how you can make your brand sustainable. And so stop by Fashion Mingle on Monday, the 21st. We'll be there from 3 to 6 p.m. And then next week, we will be doing our live from Tex World. So tune in. We'll be doing it a little bit earlier, probably around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing a live from Tex World, kind of showing you guys the show, introducing you to some of my favorite vendors, talking all about fabric sourcing, questions that you should be asking, and misconceptions, all that great stuff. And then obviously don't forget, every Tuesday, 7 p.m., we do these Facebook Lives. Also, we might be changing the time of these Facebook Lives. So if you are on the West Coast or this time doesn't work for you, please let me know what time you would prefer, because I might be changing the time on Tuesdays. Elizabeth, you're in Toronto. Okay, well, you need to attend the Apparel Textile Sourcing Show in Canada, which is coming up, I believe, in August. So that would be a great show for you. But Toronto is not that far from New York City, girl, so you can make it. We've had people come from Texas, Florida. I've had somebody come from North Carolina, Albany, so it's not that far for you. And don't forget, as always, there's over 59 free Facebook Live videos just like these. All these trainings that you can go back and watch all over again inside the Fearless Fashionpreneur Facebook group. So if you're not part of the group, if you're on Instagram, definitely head on over, join our group. The link's in the bio. That's over 28 hours of free information that I'm giving you guys. People pay me $300 an hour for my information. So I hope you're taking advantage. I hope you're listening to these, watching them, and sharing them. So let me know your comments. Let me know if you loved this Facebook Live. I'd love to hear from you guys. Your feedback is great. I do these lives for you. So if you have questions, if you have comments, definitely let me know. And I'll see you all next Tuesday live from the Tex World Show. All right, everyone, have a good night. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in next week. Ciao.